Man, what a game, dog. So let's go ahead, let's talk about it. Let's jump right in, bro. No intro, no none of that. Draymond Green. Man, it was a phenomenal game from Draymond. I don't want to hear about the antics. I don't want to hear people that think he should have been thrown out because I completely disagree because that first technical foul was such a bad call that there is no way that you can say that he should have been thrown out because of the second one because he should have never been called on the first one, so you can't say that he should have been thrown out. I don't care what nobody says. That man at that last play of the game, dude, on Shingun, just a phenomenal job by Draymond. And really, this whole game and this whole series, just a phenomenal job by Draymond on Shingun, bro. And I know you're going to look at the box score for people that didn't watch the game. You're going to see, well, Shingun had 30 points. How can you say Draymond did a great job on him, bro? If you watch this game, you know. I don't really care about the 31 points being inefficient on 28 shots because that's not really what the main thing here is. The main thing here is that the Shingun only got going in the second half when Draymond was in foul trouble and was on the bench. It was so obvious that when Draymond Green was in the game, Shingun was not doing a damn thing, bro. So we have to give credit to Draymond Green here because, dude, he had a phenomenal game, and it wasn't like, oh, he airballed two wide open threes that were really ugly, but he started the game off 2 for 2 from three. He was killing early, was getting or not 2 for 2 from three, but he started off like 3 for 3 from the field, was killing early, he was getting fast break points, was forcing the turnovers to get to the fast break, everything like that. Just phenomenal defense in the first half, especially, but really throughout like the whole game. But dog, that first half defense, absolutely nuts by both teams. That's credit to both teams. Brandin Podziemski, man. He started the game off hot, 2 of 2 from three. He started off perfect from three. But he was the Warriors' best offensive player tonight. He was the most consistent offensive player, and he was the best offensive player for the Warriors tonight. I'm talking about 9 for 18, 6 for 11 from three. Finished with 26 points. Was a plus 7 on the plus minus, man. Phenomenal game from Podziemski. I'm talking about in the fourth quarter was hitting big threes, hit a big layup, was just doing great things. The energy from the whole Warriors team tonight, especially after the stuff that was happening in the first half, was just phenomenal. Jabari Smith Jr., gotta give props to you. You took one terrible three late in the game, and I just was like, immediately as soon as you shot it, I was like, have you lost your mind? But you had a great start off the bench. You gave them some great minutes off the bench. Your production was very, very good off the bench. Dillon Brooks was making shots in the first half, couldn't really miss much in the first half, ended up only being 4 for 7, but I think all of those points he had was in the first half, and it was really pissing me off as somebody that is not a Dillon Brooks fan. I do not enjoy watching him play basketball. I do not like anything about him or his game. I'm not a Dillon Brooks fan at all, and I'm not a Warriors fan either. Like, you see this jersey and you might think I'm a Warriors fan. I'm not a Warriors fan at all. I'm a Raptors fan. But I am a huge Steph Curry fan, so I will always root for anybody that is on Steph Curry's team the same way that people will always root for who is on LeBron's team. That's how I am with Steph Curry, because while I am a LeBron fan, my two favorite players of all time are Steph Curry and Kobe Bryant. I will always root for anybody that was ever on a team for them, always. Even if they were ass, I at least like them a little bit. So my hate for Dillon Brooks, and it's not hate, my dislike for his game isn't coming from a place of, I'm a Warriors fan and I just dislike Dillon Brooks and the way he has always tried to like single out the Warriors. I just dislike his entire the entire way that he plays, all of his antics and everything, because he does that, but he's not a guy like a Draymond that is a defensive player of the year guy. So he doesn't have the right to be doing that stuff, in my opinion. The way that he did it against LeBron, I think 2 years ago, where he was talking about LeBron, blah, 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 I'm going to poke the bear, and then LeBron dropped 20 and 20 on him. Oh, I don't respect you till you drop 40 on me, and then the next game, LeBron had a 20-20 game. I just don't like Dillon Brooks. That was a tangent, but whatever. Fred VanVleet. I don't think that he will play again. He will play this well again in the series, and that's a shame. I have nothing to say about him missing that last shot. It's an impossible shot. He was the only guy that could hit a three or that could hit a three the whole game for the Rockets. He was their most efficient source of offense, while Shingun had more points. Fred VanVleet was the most efficient and the most consistent source of offense, no matter who was guarding him tonight. Great game from Fred VanVleet. I don't think you'll see it again in this series, especially because the series is over now. I told you after last game the series was over after that, but the series is definitely over now. But that was a great Fred VanVleet game. As a guy that's a Raptors fan, that was a big fan of Fred VanVleet when we had made that championship run and everything like that. Great game from Fred VanVleet. All props to you, man. But we have to say, I have to say something about these refs. I have never seen a superstar, a guy like Steph Curry, who is a top 5, sometimes some people say top 3 player of all time, get so few calls even at home. I have never seen that happen so consistently for a guy of his caliber, and it's just baffling. Like, how do you call that tech in the first half? No, I'm sorry. That tech in the first half should never have been on Draymond. That's not about Steph. That was just a terrible tech on Draymond. We already talked about that. But then there was some calls where it's just like that Dylan Brooks foul on Steph Curry when he's going up for the layup. The fact that that wasn't called a foul on the floor, the fact that the Warriors had to challenge for that, is nuts. Stephen Curry is 6'3". He's not a guy like a LeBron who's 6'9", or like Luka who's 6'7", where you can say, yeah, he doesn't get the calls, but we kind of get it because he's so big. He should be able to shrug these physical hits off. No, he's not that guy. So why? Well, don't take that out of context. He is that guy, but I'm saying he's not that size where you can just be justifying him never getting calls like this, bro. You cannot convince me that Steph Curry should not, the way he gets guarded, should not average 5+ foul calls a game. Should not average 5+ free throw attempts per game. I'm sorry. Really, it should probably be more like 8 to 10 free throw attempts per game, but I'm just going to be neutral and say he should be averaging at least 5+ free throws a game. But this isn't just a Steph Curry thing. It's just like his team does not get foul calls for the most part. Now, Jimmy Butler does, but Jimmy Butler drives damn near every time he has the ball. Jimmy Butler was 12 for 12 from free throw line today. Nobody else, Quentin Post had 4 free throw shots. Nobody else had more than 3, and that was only 2 guys. The Warriors had 4 guys go to the free throw line today. 3 of them were starters, and one of them is Quentin Post, who played damn near starting minutes, especially in the first half. Meanwhile, so they shot a total of 22 free throws, 12 of those was Jimmy Butler. The Rockets shot 31. You have Alperen Sengun shooting 10, Amin Thompson shooting 5, Dylan Brooks shooting 4. These are all guys who shot more than Stephen Curry, by the way. Tari Eason shooting 4, Jalen Green shooting 3, the same amount as Stephen Curry. Steven Adams got to the line, Jabari Smith got to the line, Fred VanVleet got to the line. You cannot convince me that with any other superstar, especially one of to Steph caliber, shouldn't be getting these free throw calls, man. Like, especially so consistently, and not, especially not in the playoffs, especially not at home. You can't convince me of that, bro. Jimmy Butler. For the first half, I was really critical of you, but I wasn't going to hate too much because it's like you're coming off of an injury. But one thing I have in my notes was Jimmy Butler needs to get going. And then immediately, I saw him talking trash to Dylan Brooks on that free throw line, and I believe what he said, based on my lip reading, was, you a bitch, I'm about to bust your ass. It was something like that, excuse my language. It was something like that. Why did I just say excuse my language? It was something like that. And immediately in that point, I texted in the group chat, Butler and Jimmy I said, Butler and Jimmy, Lord help me God. Butler and Curry about to combine for 50+ points in the second half. Now, did that happen? Absolutely not. But Jimmy Butler's second half, phenomenal, man. Absolutely got going in the third quarter and just kept it going from there. Finished the game. 27 points, 7 for 12 from the field, didn't miss a free throw, took 12 of them, was getting to the line in the clutch to give the Warriors some much-needed offense. Jimmy Butler, great game coming off the injury. You could tell he was hurting a little bit, especially after that Dylan Brooks foul on the 3. For anybody that didn't watch the game, and you heard me say that without context, it wasn't a dirty foul or anything like that. It wasn't even a hard foul. It was just he might have landed in a little weird way. And you could tell it was kind of that pelvis contusion, back contusion was kind of, it was aching him a little bit. You could tell he wasn't moving great. So for him to still have 27 points in this game, phenomenal. Something else I noticed in the second half that was just like really that we haven't seen in the series and really haven't seen much this season. Trayce Jackson-Davis got minutes in the second half when Houston's big lineup was in with the lineup of Jabari Smith Jr., who earlier in the series when it was these two bigs, it was Tari Eason, not Jabari Smith Jr. So the change was interesting, especially because of how ass Tari Eason was during this game, which we'll talk about in a second. But he was getting minutes when Draymond was in foul trouble, and that lineup of Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun, and Steven Adams was in. And don't get me wrong, he didn't do a damn thing good. Like, he didn't do nothing besides get some fouls. He missed the dunk. He got, I think 2 or 3 foul calls there. He got called for 2 or 3 fouls. He didn't score. He didn't get a rebound. He didn't do anything good. But it was interesting to see. There was a lot of Rockets in foul trouble, especially earlier in the game where it was you had many Rockets that had 2, 3+ fouls, and then I think somebody had 4. I don't remember if it was Dylan Brooks or not, but somebody early in the game had 4. But let's just go look and see. Dylan Brooks finished with 4, Jalen Green 3, Amin Thompson 3, Steven Adams 4, and then Alperen Sengun 2, Fred VanVleet 2, Tari Eason 2. They were in foul trouble. Please don't get me wrong. But these refs were terrible, dog. That call on Steph, where they called that foul, where Alperen Sengun's posting up and Steph swipes and gets all ball, and then while they're trying to figure out if they're going to challenge the call or not, they get a delay of game call, a delay of game foul penalty, which is their second one of the game, so it's a tech, and they just stop it. In a playoff game, stop it, man. Stop it. Ime Udoka, you're hilarious because Tari Eason was having a terrible game. He goes back in, I want to say it was like late third quarter, maybe sometime in the fourth quarter. He goes back in. And just to put it in context for you, Tari Eason did not hit a shot, had 2 rebounds, 2 fouls, 1 assist, 3 points, and that is because he hit free throws. He hit 3 free throws. He didn't do a damn thing good this game, really, truly, honestly. He gets in the game, and on like a baseline out of bounds play, Jimmy Butler gets tossed the ball from I don't even remember who, but he gets tossed the ball, and Tari Eason fouls him right around half court while he's trying to catch it, and the camera pans to Ime Udoka, and if my lip reading is correct, let me go back to the group chat to see exactly what I said he said. If my lip reading is correct, this man said, and I quote, "I'm not fucking putting you in if you're gonna do that shit." I'm talking about scream that straight to Tari Eason's face. Now, that lip reading may not be the exact words of what happened, but dog, I swear to you, I am 99% sure that is exactly what he said. And when I tell you I was crying when he said it, because I was like, man, I've always been a big fan of Ime Udoka as a coach. But when he said that was just like, so that was hilarious to me. That was one of those things where I was like, man, that's why I like him as a coach, because that's hilarious. Jalen Green, ass. He was unplayable in the fourth quarter down the stretch, especially when the Rockets went on their big run while Alperen Sengun was dominating. Jalen Green was on the bench for all of that. You had one good game in this series, and it was the game where Jimmy Butler gets hurt. Jalen Green, you have scored single digits in 3 of the 4 games this series, and all 3 of those games y'all lost. In all 3 of those games, it was the Warriors also just happened to be pretty. Sorry, I'm a little sick. The Warriors also just happened to be healthy in those 3 wins, while you ended up getting single-digit points in all of them. Jalen Green, man. I was a big fan of yours coming into the draft. I was a fan of yours when you were coming out of high school, so I was a big fan of yours when you came into the draft, even though I didn't watch you at all in the G League Ignite program. I remember foolishly saying that you would be better than Cade Cunningham was. Like I said, foolish. I will never have a problem admitting I'm wrong. I was very wrong about that. But I have never seen a player that has the opportunity to prove himself in this league, to prove that you've added stuff to your game, to prove that you've gotten better. A guy that led his team in scoring, albeit barely, but still, you led your team in scoring. I've never seen a guy with all that come into a playoff series, and in 3 of the first 4 games of the series, keep in mind you're now down 3-1 after those 4 games, drop single-digit points in 3 of the 4 games. And in the one game you didn't, you had 30 plus. Oh, that's cool, that's cute, everything like that. Jimmy Butler was hurt. Y'all were riding the momentum from him getting hurt in the first quarter, so you doing that doesn't mean a damn thing to me. You were front running. I don't give a damn about that. So, it has been a disaster of a series for Jalen Green, man. And as somebody that was a big fan of yours, I absolutely hate to see it. But at the same time, you do be talking a lot, and you have not done even a little bit to back it up. You haven't even been aggressive. Like, Amin Thompson took more shots than you. We'll talk about him in a second. Alperen Sengun took more shots than you. Fred VanVleet took more shots than you. On the Warrior side, Draymond Green took 1 less shot than you. Jimmy Butler took more shots than you. Steph Curry had his worst game of the series, putting up 17 points on 6 of 13, shooting 2 for 8 from 3. He took more shots than you. Buddy Hield took more shots than you. Brandin Podziemski took more shots than you. Quentin Post took more shots than you. Moses Moody, who did not do one good thing in this game, took 2 less shots than you. No excuse for that. None. In a game where you lose by 3 points and you have got 2... Fred VanVleet just had his best game of the series. Alperen Sengun just had his best game of the series. And they just needed a little bit more help. And you wouldn't think that the guy who led this team in scoring would be the guy that they'd be begging for just a touch more help. And it is. He is. And it's just, man. It's more disappointment than anything else, but if I'm a Houston Rockets fan, dog, I'm ready to say some insane things about Jalen Green. Like to the point where it's like, if y'all have a chance to go get Kevin Durant, Jalen Green be the first guy I'm putting in the Jalen Green will be the first guy I'm putting in the trade. Like first guy. Like man, it's been a bad series. Amin Thompson Had a good game, man. Had a very, very good game. 7 of 12, 17 points, 9 boards. Was key in that fourth quarter run. I'm talking about in the fourth quarter run, dude. He was just getting acrobatic layups, athletic layups. You could see his athleticism taking off. You could just see that he was getting to that paint, which the Rockets as a team were doing today. They scored almost 50 points in the paint today. They might have actually hit that 50 number. They did a great job getting to the paint, but Amin Thompson in that fourth quarter, when Draymond came back in and Şengün couldn't do too much, and you knew Jalen Green wasn't doing a damn thing, and Fred VanVleet hit big threes, but it was like he wasn't like hitting a three every single possession or anything, which you can't really ask him or expect him to do. It was Amin Thompson who's coming in, getting boards, getting athletic layups and stuff, just to give this team some life, to keep this team afloat, and to keep it a close game, and in some cases keep them the lead. Great game from Amin Thompson. Steven Adams, best game I've seen from you in literally years. I'm talking about you were out there and you got more minutes in this game than you got in any other game, and I think that was something that was desperately needed. 7 boards. You had, let me look at the amount of blocks. You might have had 5. 7 boards, 5 of those boards were offensive. Great job. 4 blocks, 2 of them, maybe even, no, I think it was 2 of them, came in late in the fourth quarter. Gotta clap it up for Steven Adams, man. I'm talking about had a phenomenal game here. You can't ask him for any more than that. But then as soon as you could see just how important he was getting late in the fourth quarter, Steve Kerr did maybe one of the smartest things I've ever seen him do as a head coach, and had the Warriors Haka Adams. Yes, you heard me right. Haka Adams. They fouled him. He didn't even go to the free throw line. It wasn't even like a bonus type of foul. But he fouled him, and everybody in the world knew why Steve Kerr had them foul him. And Ime Udoka immediately sat him because he knew that he could not have wasted offensive possessions that ended in Steven Adams making one, if you're lucky, free throw out of 2. That was maybe. I was critical of Steve Kerr in the first half because I'm like, at the end of the first half, you see your team losing it. You see your team playing down to the Rockets level with the physicality and with the fighting and with them getting into their heads and everything like that. And you see your team turn the ball over like 4 out of the last 5 possessions in the first half, and you don't call the timeout or anything. So I was super pissed at him for that. But, man, you made up for it with that Haka Adams thing. That was so smart. That was so intelligent. This might sound like glazed, but that was great. Like, that is what I need coaches to do. That is what a good coach is supposed to do. Great job. I just talked for 17 minutes about this one game, and now we're about to spend 30 seconds on the Cavs game from tonight. I didn't watch a single minute of it, so I'm not even going to sit here and pretend to give any analysis, and I don't think any analysis is really needed at all. Cavs dominated. Tyler Hero talked all that trash to Darius Garland and the Cavs just to do this, talking about some, well, we ain't getting swept, I'll tell you that. Yeah, you and Davion Mitchell. I love Davion Mitchell, former Raptor. I love it. But you can't talk trash Tyler Hero and then go out there and shoot. What were you? 1 for 10 with 4 points, something like that? Trash. Shout out to Nikola Jovic, I guess, who was the only Heat player that really played well. Bam did a little bit of something, but that's just me box score watching. Like I said, I didn't watch a single second of this game, but from the box score, trust me, from the box score, it made me look like a genius for not watching it because they didn't do a damn thing worth watching. And I saw this stat on Twitter, and I'm not sure if it's true, but it sounds true because they just won this game by 55 points. The Cavs won this series by 122 total points. I don't know if that is actually the most lopsided series win in NBA history, but that's what the person said on Twitter, and I believe it because what? Nasty work, man. But yeah, dog, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching, man. All glory to God. Man, what a phenomenal game from Rockets Warriors, man. Phenomenal game. I gotta go text the homies back. My homie talking about some Warriors game was amazing. The other homies texting, I gotta go text them back, but I had to shoot this video, man. Thank you for watching. Please go recommend to some friends. As y'all can see, I've been grinding the playoffs. Ain't no sickness gonna stop that. Now, one thing I will say, next week I am going on vacation with my girlfriend for my birthday. I'm also gonna propose to her. And so I will not be recording any videos during that time. Probably I'll take my computer. But if you don't get a video after every single night of hoops, just know why. You'll get to now. If it's a banger game, I'm going to be watching. And if it's a banger game, you're going to get a video, but it's just like it's me, her, and her best friend. So it's like I'm not going to go. If it's a midnight of hoops, you're just not going to get you're probably not going to get a video during this week because I'm about to get engaged. I hope. Pray for me. I'm trying to get engaged. So, yeah. All right. Love y'all. Thank you. I hope you could hear what I was saying. But if not, I'm putting a ring on my girlfriend's finger. So, all right. Bye-bye.